Welcome back. Let's get started. Open up Figma. You should have it installed, but if you don't, please pause the video, go to Google, search for Figma, and then install it on your computer. When you're ready, launch the desktop app, just like that. We're not gonna work in our browser, even though it works in our browser. We're gonna stick with the program. Okay, this is how it looks like, and we're gonna look for the import file. This is what we're looking for. You have this project attached to the course. Now, here's the thing. Our job is to design this screen for one of my apps, and we can take inspiration from this screenshot. This is actually a real project, so even though it may seem simple, it's gonna teach you a lot. Please watch this video twice. Once just to understand what's going on, and then the second time around, you can work along with me by pausing as often as you need to. So I repeat, please don't try to work along on your first viewing. This applies for the entire course. Okay, let's get to work. This is called the frame, and everything inside the frame makes up a screen, one single screen. Right now, we only have one thing, the app's logo, keyboard plus. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna center it. Please click on it to select it, or the second thing that you can do is you can click and drag out a box, and everything inside that box is gonna be selected. Okay. Now we can use this command to align it in the center of the screen, just like that. Awesome stuff. Next, I need something that's gonna act like a background. So let's grab this tool, the ellipse tool. The hotkey is O. O for ellipse. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's fine. It's the circle icon from the top left side of the screen. Usually, you're gonna see the rectangle tool, but you can hit O and you're gonna get it directly. Or what you can do is you can use this arrow here to show all the tools. Okay, we need to zoom out a bit, so let's do this. Hold the control key, that's the command key on a Mac, and then use your mouse scroll. This is how you zoom in or you zoom out. Please take a moment to get familiar with that concept. So again, hold control and then scroll. By the way, when you zoom in, Figma is gonna focus you on your mouse. So if you move it to the right side, that's where you're gonna zoom in. Basically, it's gonna follow your mouse. Move it to the left, same thing. Okay, now with the ellipse tool selected, let's draw out a shape that looks something like this. Okay, now notice the logo went away, and that's because we're hiding it. To fix it, go to the layers panel on the left side, and you're gonna find a layer that's called ellipse 1. Click and drag it underneath the logo. If your ellipse is too large, Figma might place it behind your screen. To fix that, simply move it back and forth over the frame. If you can't manage, just make a smaller ellipse. Okay, back to it. Let's change the color from gray to just about anything else. For that, we're gonna have to click on this box next to fill. We'll get this pop-up and you can choose just about any color. I'm looking for something bright, saturated, a very modern color. Maybe a purple of some sorts, something maybe like this. Okay, I'm happy with it. Now again, we're gonna have to center it. So let's use the exact same command here. If you keep your mouse over it, you're gonna see it says align horizontal center. Awesome. Okay, now let's hold control and zoom in a bit more so we can better see what we're working on. So the black logo doesn't really work all that well, so let's switch to the move tool. The hotkey is V, but you can click here. Move V. Again, it doesn't really make all that much sense, but make sure you select it. Okay, now grab the logo by clicking on it, and then let's make it white. Believe it or not, this is good progress. For some, it may be difficult, for some, it may seem super simple, but let's keep going. Next, I want to add some type of graphic, but let's raise up the logo just a bit. While on the move tool, click on it to select it and then drag it up. As long as you don't let go of your mouse click, you're gonna see that Figma is gonna help you keep it centered. That's what this red line shows you. So Figma is really helping us out. Okay, now I wanna add a screenshot, but first, let's add a rectangle that will help us out quite a lot. There's the rectangle tool, and you can hit R, where R finally stands for rectangle. Okay, click and drag one out. No certain size in mind, just something that's fairly wide and fairly short. Okay, we can always adjust it if needed. As always, please center it, the exact same command. That's an important step in just about any design project. Then, inside your resources folder, you're gonna have a few designs to choose from. These are all made by my team, by the way. We're gonna place one of them inside of this rectangle. So here's how this is gonna go. Click here next to the rectangle tool so we can see all the tools. We're looking for place image, and that's even a shortcut, Control-Shift-K. This will open up a browse window and you can find that folder that has all of these screenshots. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna choose one at random. Once the image is loaded, you're gonna see a mini version next to the cursor. This means it's ready to be placed inside the project. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the rectangle and just click on it. And that's job well done. One thing I don't like, these square edges. So with the rectangle still selected, you're gonna see this field here. So this is where we're gonna change it from 0 to 30 pixels. That's gonna give us a much better look. And I'm very happy with that. Now to make the image stand out a bit more, let's click on this plus next to effects. This is gonna give us a nice drop shadow. To adjust the shadow's look, let's go over this icon where you're gonna see it says effect settings. So I'm gonna use high values so you can really see it through the recording. It's 15 for the Y field and 15 for blur. That's 1.5. We're gonna talk about everything in detail a bit later on. For now, please just follow my steps. And the top part is done. Now let's add our first button. Get the type tool, hotkey T. The first message is gonna be choose keyboard plus. Choose keyboard plus. Now when you finish writing it, just hit the escape key to finish things off. Then let's change the font from the right side. So this font doesn't look all that great, so we're gonna change it. See this area here that's called text? Let's change the font to something very basic. Let's say Arial Bold 24. Take your time with it, you don't have to rush. As I said, pause the video as often as you need to. When you're ready, center it on the canvas, just like that. The important step is this one. Move your mouse above it and right-click it. From this list, choose Add Auto Layout. It's somewhere near the center. If you can't manage, just use this hotkey, Shift-A. So this does the same thing. It doesn't seem like anything happened, but now we have this area here on the right side that's called Fill. Hit the plus icon. And again, nothing seems to have changed, but notice we do have white right here. We love white in most app design projects, but now we have to change it to something else. So let's click here to get the color picker. Now we can select just about any color, but let's use the previous one. And there we go, it's now purple as well. Hit escape to close it off. Now, black on purple doesn't really work, but notice this area called selection colors. So this helps us change that black to pure white. Just hit the black square and you know what to do, make it white. Remember, use the escape key to close the window. And this is catching shape. The button is a bit too small, so let's make some changes. From this top right side, let's switch the corner radius to 40. That's this field right here. Then move on down and find these two fields. Put in 80 and 20. And that's all there is to it. Now, 80 means we're gonna have 80 pixels on either side of this text. And that's the button's edges, basically horizontally. And this part is for the other side. Now, center the button once again, and we're just about done. To make a copy of it, use Ctrl-D. Now, again, it looks like nothing has happened, but when you go over it with your mouse, click and drag, you're gonna see that we made a copy. So Ctrl-D or Command-D, D as in duplicate. Awesome stuff. Let's change up the text and then we can move on. Double-click once to go inside the button. Now double-click again to edit this message. Change it to activate the keyboard. So activate the keyboard. After you're done, move to the next video where I'm going to explain why we worked the way we did. For now, this is your first app design screen. Congrats, and I'm going to see you in a second. Thank you.